Hare Krishna. So thank you all for joining today morning for the Srimad Bhagavatam. We are in third canto and we are on chapter 14 and text number. Today we'll discuss text number 33 and 34. So we'll start with text 33. So I'll request Vindhyavali Mataji, would you like to lead us?
Yes, Prabhu. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Ditistu vidita tena karmavadyena bharata upasangamya viprashim adhomukshya abhyabhashata. Ditistu vidita tena karmavadyena bharata upasangamya viprarishim adhomukya abhyabhashata. Ditistu vidita tena karmavadyena bharata upasangamya viprarishim adhomukya abhyabhashata. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. The devotees, if you hold it to recite, please recite.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Ditistu bhridita tena
Karmavadyena.
I think it goes on mute.
Yeah.
All right. Any other devotee would like to cite?
Titistu vriditatena karmavadyena bharata upasangamya vipyarsmin adhyomukya abhyabhashata.
Anyone else would like to cite? All right, I'll recite. Ditistu vridita tena karmavadyena bharata upsangamya viprarshim adhomukya abhyabhashat. Synonyms. Diti, the wife of Kashyapa. To but. Vriditaha, ashamed. Tena, by that. Karma, act. Avadyenaha, faulty. Bharat, O son of Bharat family. Upsangamya, going near to. Vipraha Rishim, the Brahmana sage. Adhamukhi, with her face lowered. Abhyabhashat, politely said. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace. Abhay Charnal Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. O son of the Bharat family, Diti, after this, went nearer to her husband, her face lowered because of her faulty action. She spoke as follows. When one is ashamed of an abominable action, one naturally becomes down-faced. Diti came to her senses after the abominable sexual intercourse with her husband. Such sexual intercourse is condemned as prostitution. In other words, sex life with one's wife is equal to prostitution if the regulations are not properly followed. Then I'll read the next verse also. We'll discuss them together. Ditir uvacha name garbham imam brahman bhutanam ribho vadit rudrapati bhutanam yasya akarvam amhasam. Synonyms. Diti uvacha, the beautiful Diti said, na, not, me, my, garbham, pregnancy, imam, this, brahman, O brahmana, bhutanam, of all living entities, rishbha, the noblest of all living entities, avadhit, let him kill, rudra, Lord Shiva, pati, master, He is certainly Bhutanam of all living entities. Yasya whose Akravam I have done Amhasam offense. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. The beautiful Diti said, my dear Brahmana, kindly see that my embryo is not killed by Lord Shiva, the Lord of the all living entities, because of the great offense I have committed against him. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Diti was conscious of her offense and was anxious to be excused by Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva has two popular names, Rudra and Ashutosh. He is very prone to anger as well as quickly pacified. Diti knew that because of his being quickly angered, he might spoil the pregnancy she had so unlawfully achieved. But because he was also Asutosha, she implored her Brahmana husband to help her in pacifying Lord Shiva, for her husband was a great devotee of Lord Shiva. In other words, Lord Shiva might have been angry with Diti because she obliged her husband to transgress the law, but he would not refuse her husband's prayer. Therefore, the application for excuse was submitted to her husband. She prayed to Lord Shiva as follows. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padkamlam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanamitam Tam Sajiyam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Sha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namani Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarane Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gorattushe Nama Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Bhaktavatar Bhaktakyam Namami Bhaktashaktikam Vancha Kalpatarubhescha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari वृषभानु सुते देवी प्रणमामि हरि प्रिये जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा Again, thank you all for joining today morning Shrimad Bhagavatam. This is the holy month of Kartik. So happy Kartik to all of you. I hope everything is going very nicely with all of you. So today's discussion is about these two verses that we are doing, which are continuation of the past time that we are discussing from the third canto. So here we see the pastime where Diti forced her husband to have a sexual intercourse at the evening time, which is prohibited, which is not uh, a suitable time to have sexual intercourse. So, according to Vedic injunctions, there are certain rules and regulation. Even the family members or the husband and wife should follow. As we know that there are four ashramas: brahmacharya, grastha, vanaprastha, and sannyas. So in all four three ashramas like brahmacharya, vanaprastha, and sannyas, there is no provision or there is no relaxment of any kind of sense gratification. They are completely prohibited for that, and only austerity and penance and devotional services to be performed in those three ashramas. Only in Grhastha ashrama there is some relaxation or some provision where a man and a woman come and have sexual enjoyment, and that too also with certain rules and regulations. So what happened is here, like Diti actually gone beyond those rules and actually offended like Lord Shiva, because that evening time is generally belong to Lord Shiva. It's like it says like, because that the time when the mode of ignorance is very prominent. So at that time, in the scriptures mentioned that we should be doing more of devotional service like chanting or like doing kirtan performance of those kind of things will be recommended rather than doing sexual intercourse. But Diti forced her husband, and now after this all event happened, now Diti came to senses back. As we know that Diti is not a ordinary woman. Diti is being like a daughter of Daksha, so she is not an ordinary woman. So she knows what is right, what is wrong, but she was overcome by this Cupid, this Kama or lust, and because of that she broke the law. And not even she broke the law, but she forced her husband also to break the law. She forced her husband, even though like Kashyap Muni initially refused and tried to explain Diti, but she did not listen at all, which is against the principle of like marriage life. In marriage life, it is important that a husband should take care of the wife and wife should take care of the husband, both in material sense and in spiritual sense, materially also and spiritually also. As a devotee, it is a duty of a husband to make sure that his wife also makes spiritual progress, and it is a duty of wife also to make sure that her husband also able to perform his devotional service very nicely. And similarly material things also, like materially both should be able to support each other. But here Diti forced her husband to do sinful activity. Hmm. Means she was not really helping her husband, rather she was forcing her husband to commit wrong activity, which is against the principle of the marriage life. So now here Prabhupada says that when one is ashamed of abominable action, one naturally become downfish, because now she came to senses, she realized that she did a mistake. She did a big mistake. Now this is also one of the important factors. Say if a person is knowledgeable, or a person who know dharma, even though they commit mistakes sometime, the people who know what is right, what is wrong, sometimes they overcome by the mode of passion. That's what happened with Diti. She was overcome by the mode of passion, ignorance, and she was ready to commit sinful activity even at that time. But she knows what is right, what is wrong. Now she came back to senses. Now she is realizing that she has done a great mistake. This is also like one of the things that we should learn, that sometime or somewhere it can happen that some devotee or some person might do a wrong activity. We don't know why and how he does, what is the reason behind that. But if he realizes, if he realizes that he has done a great mistake and he is now ready to correct, hmm, that is also a welcome thing. We should welcome that. Okay, at least now he's realizing that he did a mistake, or this person make a mistake. Now he's ready to come back and correct himself. So because we are discussing Srimad Bhagavatam, we should not think that Diti is like an ordinary woman or an ordinary person who commit mistake or who did wrong thing, and now they say what's happened, that's okay, I did mistake, that's fine. You know, people who are good hearted, people who have good heart, they, when they make mistake, they realize, oh, I did a mistake. Now they want to correct. Right? Mist like committing mistake is one of the fault or one of the things in human life. Every human make mistake. Is not that. But to recognize that they have made a mistake is is the right thing. Like you make a mistake, but you accept, okay, I made the mistake. Now I'm going to correct it, right? So one good thing we can learn is like here, like Diti is now by her behavior, she is showing now that she is basically making mistake. But how to respond? What Prabhupada says that when one is ashamed of abnormal action, one naturally become down-faced. This is a result of committing sinful activity. When a person commits sinful activity, he lost his power. He lost his, teja, like the whatever he gained, like with his practice of whatever devotional service or yoga, whatever he does, he actually lose that power. And now Diti becomes so ashamed, and because of that, she has lowered her eyes and her face, and she was standing in front of her husband because she did such a mistake. You know. So when somebody should done a mistake, this is the way person should do it. Okay, yes, I did the mistake. It's not that a person commit a mistake and then come and start shouting on another person that because of you I made the mistake or this or what happened. She realizing that, well, I made the mistake. So now she is standing down faced in front of her husband. And the second line Prabhupada says that again, like as in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that if somebody follow rules and regulation of household life and follow this principle very nicely, so the karma or the lust between man and woman, if they are regulated, then it is allowed by dharma, is allowed by the Lord. If you follow the rules and regulations mentioned in scripture about sexual intercourse, then that is not against dharma. But if you break the law, it is against dharma and then it is condemned as prostitution. Srila Prabhupada is saying that such sexual intercourse is condemned as prostitution. In other words, sex life with one's wife equal to prostitution if the rules are not properly followed. So very important point Prabhupada mentioning is that in a householder life, it does not mean that we are householders so we have the freedom to do whatever we want to do. Even in the household life when nobody is watching us, even husband wife, they are in solitary place, they are alone, still they need to follow rules and regulation, which is basically dharma. If they don't follow that, then that's, even though they might be saying, well, nobody's watching, whatever we want to do, we can do it, but that's actually Prabhupada say condemned as prostitution. So let's go to next verse here. Now here Diti is basically now addressing her husband that I have done a great mistake here. She's saying that I have done a great mistake. Now I'm going to get child because of this sexual intercourse, right? But now because I have offended Lord Shiva, so who is the Lord of all living entities? So now I have offended him, so it might possible that Lord Shiva become angry on me. It might possible, right? So now she is very much afraid of that. See, whatever I have done, I want a child. I have a son. And now with this activity, I'm going to get it. But now she's afraid that Lord Shiva might destroy my child, right? Hmm. So here Prabhupada says that Diti was conscious of her offense and was anxious to be excused by Lord Shiva. Now she is looking for forgiveness. Please, I want back forgiveness. Please pardon me that I have done a great mistake. I offended Lord Shiva. I want like pardon. Now this is also very important point. Like even in our devotional life, we should learn this thing. Like because even in devotional life, we commit mistake. We offend people. We offend deities. We offend. We offend like there are different kind of offenses. Like we in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Sri Rupa Goswami mentions that Dhama Aparad, Vaishnava Aparad, Seva Aparad, and DT Aparad. So there are many mistakes people do because we are not really a perfect human being. We are not a perfect devotee. But main thing is that when we made an offense, we should always try to beg forgiveness, and make sure that we should basically come out of that offense by pleasing the personality whom actually we have made the offense. So here Diti knows that she made an offense to Lord Shiva, and now she is anxious to be excused by Lord Shiva. And very interestingly, here the Prabhupada mentioned that Lord Shiva has two popular names, Rudra and Ashutosh. Rudra means, like here, Rudra means anger. Like Lord Shiva became angry very quickly, very quickly, huh? Very quickly. Like even a sudden like thing, like Lord Shiva become angry. There are some examples, like in the scriptures, like when Kamadev and Rati, they both came to disturb the meditation of Lord Shiva. So Kamdev was not successful. He was not able to arouse. He was not successful in arousing the lust in Lord Shiva. But Lord Shiva became angry just by knowing that this Kamadev was came to disturb my meditation. And because of that, Lord Shiva became so angry that he opened his third eye and he burned the Kamdev within a moment. And the second example we see that when in the Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, when Bhragu Muni was basically going to different like Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh, he was going there to test them. So when he was going to when he was approaching Lord Shiva, while approaching Lord Shiva, when Lord Shiva saw that Bhragu Muni is coming to see me, at that time Lord Shiva he stood and is coming to welcome Bhragu Muni, and he was came and say, my brother, you came here, but he was helping. He was welcoming him, but Bhragu Muni intentionally made an offense to Lord Shiva by giving him the like words like, hey, you are not clean, don't touch me, I'm a Brahmana, you living in a crematory places, you are touching dead bodies and all, don't touch me, you are not clean. So so those words used by Bhragumuni encouraged Lord Shiva so much that he was ready to kill Bhragumuni at that time, ready to kill. he just moments before he was very happy to see Bhragumuni coming, and the moment Bhragumuni use wrong word, just basically say like, I'm very clean Brahmana, you are dirty, something like that. Lord Shiva became so angry that he was ready to kill him. So he's very happy. He became very pleased also, very happy. Like Lord Shiva is also Ashutosh. Ashutosh means quickly pacified, quickly become happy. So if somebody worship Lord Shiva also become very happy very easily. Like in Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, there is a pastime that one demon, he was trying to please Lord Shiva to get boon from him. And then he was basically chopping his body parts and offering to Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva became so, he's thinking, oh my God, this my worshipper, this person, he's offering his body to me. So he became very pacified, and then he immediately appeared in front of him and then blessed him. Similarly, Ravana, Ravana also basically, Lord Shiva doesn't see that whether that person is a good person or a demon. He's a devotee or a demon. He just become pleased whatever they do to Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva is like become very quickly pacified. Hmm. So DT knows these things that Lord Shiva is very prone to anger also, and he become very quickly pacified. So she was thinking that because I have done this great offense against Lord Shiva, So Lord Shiva might be angry on me. Hmm. But here Prabhupada said, but because he was also Ashutosh, she implored her husband, Brahman husband, to help her in pacifying Lord Shiva, for her husband was a great devotee of Lord Shiva. Now she is thinking that now if I want to get excused from that offense, if I'll approach Lord Shiva might not forgive me. But if my husband requests Lord Shiva, then Lord Shiva cannot refuse, or maybe Lord Shiva will basically excuse me for that. So what that mean is that that she want to satisfy Lord Shiva through his devotee. In other words, a Prabhupada says that Lord Shiva might have been angry with Diti because she obliged her husband to transgress the law, but he would not refuse her husband's prayer. So she thought that this is the way actually I can please the Lord Shiva very quickly, because generally the Lord never refuse the words of a devotee. Even we see if a devotee submits some prayer or submits something to Lord, and devotee is a wonderful devotee, is a great devotee or is a pure devotee, then Lord never refuse. Lord accepts the whatever a devotee basically requests, right? So similarly we see in our also, like sometime or whatever, like we commit so many mistakes, but our spiritual master, our Gurudev, who is a pure devotee, who is a very wonderful devotee of the Lord, so he take care of that part, because we like I myself, I have committed so many mistakes, I am doing so many offenses, I have done so many mistakes in my devotional life or even before coming to devotional life, but my Gurudev or my spiritual master is so merciful that actually he is he is basically protecting me from that. So here Diti did not see anyone else except her husband, and her husband is a great devotee of Lord Shiva. So she thought that this is the right time or right way that I should request my husband to get, get me excuse from this offense from Lord Shiva. So that way, she was thinking that, well, because my husband is a great devotee of Lord Shiva and he is Ashutosh, so if my husband will pray for me, then it will be easier. It will be easier because Lord never refuses the prayer of his devotee. So this also signifies that if a devotee prays to Lord, Lord responds. But if a non devotee prays to Lord, uh, the Lord might respond or might not respond. That's Lord's choice. But when devotees pray, then definitely. So that's why like in our even in our Vaishnava parampara, we never approach Lord directly. So we see if we need to approach Lord, we go through Guru Parampara system. So like when we make an offering to Lord, we actually offer to our spiritual master. Our spiritual master offer to his spiritual master Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada offered to his spiritual master. Like that, ultimately the offering goes to Radharani, Srimati Radharani, and Srimati Radharani offer to the Lord. So that way we it is possible that, and it is guaranteed that our things will actually reach to the Lord. But if we directly try to go approach Lord, it might possible that our things might not be able to reach because we are not purified, and we are not at that type of great devotee that Lord we can directly approach the Lord. So even in devotional life we should actually try to follow this principle that whenever we approach Lord, we should approach Lord through his pure devotee. If we go through the pure devotee of the Lord, then is guaranteed that our work will be done. Even if you ever made a mistake, or if you want to offer some prayers, or do we want to serve Krishna, even all our services also need to go through Guru Parampara system. It's not that like Whatever services I do or anyone else do, we offer to our Guru Maharaj. We are doing services on the order of our Guru Maharaj or in order of our spiritual master. So in our execution of our devotional services, we commit mistakes, we commit offenses. It's there because we are not, well, at least I'm not perfect living being and I'm not a perfect devotee, so I make mistakes. So I beg forgiveness. I beg forgiveness, but not because I'm making mistake in Krishna service. If I can offer, I can ask excuse from Krishna. But I know if I'll go and ask my Guru Maharaj, then I am easily get excuse because Guru Maharaj is all merciful. Spiritual master is all merciful, and so we can actually but that does not mean that we commit mistake again and again and then asking for forgiveness. Consciously, we should not make mistake. Like unconsciously, sometime it can happen, but consciously we should not make a mistake. And even if we make a mistake, we should do what Deity is doing. We should feel ashamed that we have make a mistake. We should actually like if we make a mistake, we should give a thought that yes, I have made a mistake. We should accept that we have made a mistake, and now we should feel that okay, next time I should not do it. If we don't accept that we have made a mistake or we have made an offense, then we will never recognize that part, and then we'll make that mistake again and we'll make that offense again. So we need to first recognize that and then sincerely beg forgiveness for that. Sincerely. It's not that, hey, sorry, and I, some people here what happened is like somebody make a mistake. I'm sorry, that's all. Just by outward words does not clean our heart. Yes, see, I can say if I made a mistake, I'm sorry, that's okay. So that person might say, okay, that's fine. You ask sorry, then that's okay. But if I'm not sincere, my heart will not become clean. If I'm just saying outwardly, okay, I am sorry, that's all, but in my heart I'm not really not really feeling pain that I have made a mistake, that I should not do it, then what happen is that even first of all our heart will not become clean. Second thing is that we might do those mistakes again in the future. So it's important that if we made a mistake, that our heart should become clean after that. So we should do right thing. First, we should basically feel ashamed that we have done a mistake. We have done a mistake. We have done a mistake. Second thing is how to come out from that mistake. How to come out from that offense. We should do that work. We should either beg forgiveness from the Vaishnavas. We should beg forgiveness from the Lord, from the holy name. Like if we have made mistake to the holy name, we should remember. That's why every morning when we chant, before chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we chant these 10 offenses again and again and again and again, so that we don't make those mistakes again and again. But we are so conditioned that we made mistakes again. That's also fact. We are so conditioned that we made a mistake, but again we have to keep reminding ourselves again and again and again that we should not make those mistakes, because the time we start chanting holy name without offenses, our devotional service rise exponentially. Like it's pure devotional service, because the time we stop making offenses and chant the holy name of the Lord, you see a rapid progress in your spiritual life, because these offenses are blocking us. The offenses are blocking us. They are creating a big obstacle in our devotional life. So we should basically try to come out of that offense, hmm, and then try to basically make progress in our devotional life. And right thing here is basically to basically go to a devotee, like especially a spiritual master or any senior devotees, and then say, this is what I have done a mistake, what should I do, what should I do? Because the thing, until us we don't accept that we are making mistake and then ready to rectify that, it's not going to it's not going to clean our heart. So these are very important points that we can learn from these things. Even though here, this thing is basically little material, is basically she was basically because she had commit a sinful activity. Because of that, she's just afraid of just protecting her her embryo. So that's not like kind of like a spiritual progress point of view, but we can learn from that point. What we can learn from this pastime is that, and this is the reason why this is given in Srimad Bhagavatam, and that's what Prabhupada mentioned here. Like, so we should be like very careful not to commit mistakes. And even the another thing what we can see here is that we should also not commit mistake against the demigod also. Even the demigod, if we, it's not that we should not commit mistakes against the holy name Dham or Lord Shiva, the Lord Krishna and all those. But even again, for demigod also, we should not commit mistakes, because that also can actually become a big obstacle in our devotional life. And Lord Shiva is Vaishnava. He's Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu. In Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that Lord Shiva is the topmost Vaishnava. That is the verdict of Srimad Bhagavatam. Among Vaishnavas, Lord Shiva is topmost. So here, if we see from that perspective, that she actually offended Vaishnava. But Vaishnavas are very merciful, very compassionate. So Lord Shiva has that feature, Ashutosh. He became very pleased. So we should also basically see that point also, that we should not even commit mistakes against demigods also, so that it will not get problem in our spiritual life. And but main point what we can see here is that, first of all, we should not commit mistake. But as Diti committed mistake, because she got captured by this mode of passion, lust. And because mm, as soon as we basically slightly diverted from devotional life, Maya will capture us. So in previous verses, we see that Srila Prabhupada give example of Haridas Thakur. So Haridas Thakur was also challenged, also offered by the prostitute to enjoy senses. But Haridas Thakur never deviated from devotional service. He was continuously focused on his devotional service, and he was keep chanting and chanting and chanting. So if we get and ultimately he became he was able to overcome Maya. Maya Devi came to break the devotional service of Haridas Thakur, but Haridas Thakur, by his power of devotional service, because he never gave up the chanting of the holy name of the Lord, he was able to overcome Maya. So we should basically learn from this pastime is that, as long as we take shelter of the holy name of the Lord all the time, uh, we will not make a mistake. We will not get trapped by Maya. But even if we get trapped by Maya because of as Diti trapped, we should feel we should basically try to correct that situation as early as possible, so that our spiritual progress won't get stopped. So with that said, I'll stop now here and see if anyone have any comment or any questions, or maybe you want to share some any of your realizations. So please let me know.
Haribol Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
I'm just wondering, all fault is being put on Diti, the Kashyapa Muni, even he was forced to do something, but he has better intelligence, better self-control. Why did he submit to his wife's request? And what it doesn't he is equally offended Lord Shiva? Why the blame is not put on him also?
No, Prabhupada actually mentioned in the purport that Kashyap Muni was also at the fault. But he actually it was not his desire. He was forced, trapped into that problem. So which he should not have done. So he was trapped. So yes, he was also responsible, but he is not worried about the child. The Diti is worried about the child, that okay, my child will get destroyed, right, by Lord Shiva. So, but Kashyap Muni was not really like serious about the child. But he knows that these two sons will be the greatest demons. He know that the demons is going to be there. But what he did is he accepted this as a destiny. Okay, that's fine. This is my destiny. What can I do like that? And after that he's going to perform devotional service. See, Kashyap Muni is going to perform devotional service. He did a mistake, so for that, if he is also going to ask forgiveness, like from whatever he has done to the Lord, and then he's going to perform devotional service going future, right? And then later we're going to see that Kashyap Muni is going to become father of the Lord. Vaman Dev is going to appear in his family, right? So it's not that it was his mistake, but it was not that type of mistake what Diti's mistake was. Because it was Diti actually started this whole thing. Kashyap Muni was not want he was not who was basically initiating this thing, but yes, he was part of that mistake. But later, whatever mistake he's done, he's going to perform devotional service and then going to come out from that sinful activity.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Is that okay, Mataji? I am not sure.
Yeah, I'm listening. So you say later on he will ask me for forgiveness too. That I didn't know.
I didn't get what you said in the last time.
So he later on he also going to ask for forgiveness for what he did.
Yes. He's going to do tapasya for that. He's going to go for doing meditation and penance, because because he knows that he did a mistake. He know that, but he accepted because the wife was basically forcing. So it might come in the pastime, or maybe but it is there, because he we need to remember that he has many wives, and he is not always living with Diti or always living with Aditi or other wives. He was always in a meditation. Whenever he got breaks, he used to come there. Otherwise, he was always meditating on the Lord. He was always in tapasya. He's not an ordinary person that he's a householder that always is staying in the house and doing household activities. He's not like that. He's a he's one of the Saptarishis. So his life is always doing his Brahmanical activities. So with that activity, he will get purified later. All right, okay. Any other question, comments anyone have?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah, like you said, Kashyap Muni, he prayed, and for he did tapasya, and he wanted to pray, and whatever sin he did. But but Titi, she's not that much in tapasya like that, like Mini was doing. When she did mistake also, no, sometimes we do mistake. You said we can go for tapasya and we can go ask for forgiveness. So what happens if we do mistake and then go for forgiveness? Is that correct?
Yeah, so mistake, as I say, you can't see. There is nobody in the world who say that he doesn't make mistakes, or do activity which is wrong, or sinful activity.
Mm.
So we are in this material world. As long as we have this body,
Yeah.
we commit sinful activities, we commit mistakes, and we might offend people. Is we are not so pure that we don't do
Yeah.
like that, right? So, but that does not mean that we start doing those things. That's not allowing us, okay, because we commit mistakes, so let's commit mistake. No, it's not like that. We should try not to make mistakes, but if it's happened, what is the course of action? First, we should recognize that I made a mistake. Second thing is that always remember that I made a mistake, and always feeling always I feel in the heart that, well, I should not make that mistake again. And third thing is that we should actually ask like how to come out, how to correct that mistakes, how to basically, if it's an offense, how to beg forgiveness, how to come out from this sinful activity. We have to do that solution also.
Yeah.
So this we have to do it. Like otherwise if we'll not do it, then we have to suffer for that.
But what I'm saying is, Diti,
Hmm.
she realized and she did a mistake,
Hmm.
and that itself is she was praying, she was repenting.
Yes.
She, not that she's just forget it and
Hmm.
I,
Right.
whatever done, I'm done, like that. Not she didn't do like that,
Yeah. So
but she
she's,
is repenting for
yeah,
that.
that's
And
what.
she is wanted to protect and she wanted to praise Shiva.
Hmm.
And if she prays, I don't know what Shiva thinks, and then that's why she want her husband to pray Shiva.
Yeah,
So
that's
that part, she did her part, and she realized, and she's praying God. That itself has to. Um, she should be having Hiranyakasipu, Hiranyaksha,
no.
bad people.
Yes, yes, no. What she did is correct because that's what she has to do.
Yeah.
First of all, she did the mistake, and
Mm-hmm.
after that, now she's ashamed of that mistake.
Mm-hmm.
But this is correct. This is the right way to do it. And now she's asking like how I can get forgiveness from Lord Shiva, and
Yeah.
that's why she approached her husband. So whatever she has done is correct actually.
So first thing is she had Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakasipu. They went through a lot of things.
Hmm.
Which what happened to her? Her repenting, her feelings. They should be Shiva should forgive her, no?
Yeah, Lord Shiva is not going to kill the Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaks. That's what she want.
Mm. But they became bad, no?
No, they became bad. Not, see. This is all Lord's pastime, Mataji. See, point is that they became bad not just because that Diti did this.
Uh-huh.
They were bad because they were cursed by four Kumaras.
Okay, okay.
So it is not that this is she is just part of the puzzle.
Got
She is not the whole cause there.
it. Got it.
See, we need to understand totality of the pastime is that Diti become just an instrument in that service.
Instrumental, yeah.
She is just part of that puzzle, that because Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaks has to come down, Jay and Vijay has to come down.
Mhm.
So they were looking where to enter, where to basically take, and they saw
That,
he was basically the target. So they become an instrument. And then I tell you one more thing that Diti, she was also is a devotee of the Lord. I'll tell you
yeah, yeah, yeah.
why. Because you see, when Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu both killed by Lord, she was not angry with Lord Vishnu. I tell you, in the Srimad Bhagavatam it is mentioned in the
Mhm.
sixth canto, in the end of the sixth canto, when Diti came to know that Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu both are killed by Lord Vishnu, she was not angry with Lord Vishnu. She thought
Mhm.
that this was done by Indra.
Oh,
And so, because she thought that this is done by Indra, so she was envious of Indra. Because
okay.
Indra is basically the stepson of Diti.
Mm.
And because Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksh both killed by the Lord Vishnu, so then Diti thought, I want a child who can kill Indra.
Mm.
And this pastime going to come later. Huh? So then she approached her husband, again, Kashyapuni.
Ah.
And then she said, like, well, I want a son who will kill Indra. And now Kashyap Muni is in trouble again.
Yeah, poor
so, so
Kashyap.
Kashyap Muni thought, well, you want a son from me, kill my another son. So but he is very smart guy. At that time, see here it is condemned that Kashyap Muni did wrong thing, but there Kashyap Muni was praised because he was a devotee of the Lord. So rather than giving a child to Diti directly, he actually told Diti, you should perform a Pumsvan Vrata for 1 year.
Oh. No, that's
See, and that Vrata is for Lord Vishnu.
Mm.
So he told Diti that you should perform a Pumsvan Vrata for 1 year, and if you perform this Pumsvan Vrata very correctly, you will get a child who is going to become follower of
Vishnu.
Indra.
Indra.
He used those words in such a way in a Sanskrit that if you do this vrata, you will get a child who is going to become follower of Indra rather than killer of Indra. So
Uh,
but she did not understand Sanskrit that properly. And
uh,
she just accepted the words of her husband, and she performed Pumson Vrata very nicely. And she worshipped Lord Vishnu very nicely. She worshipped Lord Vishnu, and after worshipping the Lord Vishnu, these Marutgans appear. You know that pastime, right? So
mm,
I'm not going detail because we don't have time right now.
uh,
The point is that, and those Marutgans, they become brother of this brother of Indra, and the Diti's grandson is a pure devotee of Lord
good.
Maharaj.
Ah,
So Diti just made one mistake. Other than that, Diti never made a mistake.
mm,
If you see the pastime, the whole Srimad Bhagavatam,
yeah, yeah.
there's no other place it's mentioned that Diti was that kind of woman. She did that mistake only that part of time, and that also because of the becoming an instrument in the pastime of the Lord.
Instrument.
So see, as Jay Vijay become Hiranyakashipu Hiranyaksh,
Yeah,
what was their mistake? They just stopped four Kumaras to go enter into the Vaikuntha.
yeah.
They were doing their duty. So see, but it was not a mistake of
James.
James actually. Because if we go in detail of that pastime also, it is their desire to fight with the Lord.
Yeah,
So in reality, if you look at the totality, they are all become instrument of this. And so, but what we can do it is we can learn from their mistakes so that we will not do mistake for ourselves.
yeah,
It's all this whole pastime, if we learn it very clearly, very understandable way. So we need to see that what we can learn from this. Why these pastimes are given in Srimad Bhagavatam to give us messages that we should not do that.
that's
Even this great personality, they did it, they have to go through these reactions. So in reality, like Diti was not that bad woman. She was not that bad, but it was basically a incident that happened, and that because of that, its whole thing is that Diti become a mother of the demons.
Maserati.
So it means what pastime is telling us. So don't even make one mistake. Then when a person make one mistake, they end up in this thing. What about us? We are making mistake every time, every day. So point is
But
that this is what we have to learn from the pastime properly, and then we have to implement in our devotional life.
but one thing from Prabhu, Diti, she's not intentionally did, but she's instrumentally said.
No,
So
no,
like that,
no, no,
we
no. Let me correct. She did intentionally because she was overcome by the lust. Because but she didn't know that she's becoming part of that leela. It's not that Diti knows that she's becoming part of leela. It's not consciously she's doing that thing. She was not knowing that, oh, this is going to become a leela, so let me do it. It's
yeah,
not that. She did not pray for that.
yeah, that's
But she become instrument because because she has that desire, and then Krishna used that particular thing to make her part of that leela.
what is that if we human beings sometimes, not what I'm saying is because she's instrumental and Krishna made her instrumental in that part of the Leela. So sometimes now might say human beings, oh yeah, that one had, where Krishna made instrumental. So why not I do some things wrong, and I think that I'm the instrumental for this stupid thing.
Yeah,
And then
if somebody compiled Srimad Bhagavatam and put you there, then fine. If we are at that level that our pastimes can be recorded in Srimad Bhagavatam, then fine, we become instrument. Srimad Bhagavatam means everything, every character, everything is connected with Krishna there. We need to understand that.
That's true.
But if our mistake can be recorded in Srimad Bhagavatam, yeah, do it. So we are not at that level. If we think like that, then we are basically like wrong. But again, yes, if we basically become instrument in service of Krishna, like what our Guru Maharaj have said, whatever Srila Prabhupada said, then definitely we will be recorded as Srimad Bhagavatam later in the future sometime.
Anyway, thank you very much, Prabhu.
Sure, Mate. Hare Krishna. Anyone else have any comment or question before we end? All right, if there is no more questions, thank you all.
कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः.
Hare Krishna, everyone.